Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Vatch. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am one of the advisors in the Study Abroad office. There are 4 UCEAP advisors, and we are all here to support you no matter what. We have a global seminars team as well, global exchange, financial aid, and every advisor in our office is here to support you. And today I'm here to talk about Italy. And I am the advisor for Italy. I process the applications. While you may meet with a lot of us, I'm considered the expert, but I'm also here to guide you as you explore the programs that are available to you. So thank you so much for coming today. We are going to go through the presentation. I will then answer any questions you have. And then what I want to do is I want to show you how to navigate some parts of our website that can be really helpful for you. So I want to mention that as we go through, just to give you a little bit of some insight into the agenda. So thank you again for being here today. So I hope most of you have had the opportunity to officially get started. And part of that means going to our Get Started page on our website, participating in the Canva course, which goes over all of these programs you see listed here today, including global seminars, UCEAP, global exchange, non-UC programs, as well as talks about financial aid, how to apply, what to consider as you study abroad. So just to show of hands, how many of you have done the Canvas session already? You could put a thumbs up or a heart or whatever makes you happy. All right, so it seems like this is going to be a lot of new information for you all. So I would encourage you to scan this code so you can participate in the Canvas course after we're done today. This will be a great space to remind you of things we talked about and give you some details that I may not give you today. So please either participate in the Canvas course, or we will have some Get Started sessions as well. There's going to be a few over Zoom, and then I will be actually hosting one in person tomorrow at UC 214 to go over the basics of studying abroad. So for those of you who haven't done that, scan the code and you will get more information about the programs you see here. So you're all here today to talk about Italy, and I'm so excited to give you some insight into the amazing programs in country and all that you can benefit from and choose from when you're there. So why Italy? I think for a lot of people, it may be the food, the beauty, the art, the culture. And when we think about studying abroad, yes, you have all of those opportunities to travel throughout the country and see how the cities differ and what makes each location so special. And when we think about studying abroad, we think of the diversity of programs Italy has, the wide range of academic areas that you can choose from, including studying in a new language or learning Italian or taking classes that are about Italy or attending a university alongside Italian and other international students. There's also internship and research opportunities, as well as I mentioned, the opportunities to expand your language and get some more insight into a new culture. There is so much diversity of programs in Italy, and you'll see on the next few slides that there is a lot to choose from. So as you're doing your research, you might think, oh my gosh, how do I narrow it down? But what you'll find is each program is very specific. So I think as you learn more about Italy and the programs that are out there, you're going to start moving towards one over another. And if not, that's what we're here for, to help support you in that. So we're going to talk about the various programs in Italy as a way of organizing ourselves, and then I'll answer more questions at the end. So I wanted to show you a map of Italy because the programs that you'll find a lot of them are located in the Tuscany region. So you see Rome with the big star, capital of Italy, and then we have right to the north Florence and Bologna and Milan, and then there are some programs in the southern part of Italy as well, but a lot of what we're going to be talking about today is in that Tuscan area and northern part of the country. So just to give you a little perspective, here's the boot, Italy, and how it is situated. So as you can see, it is on the Adriatic and Mediterranean Sea. It borders Switzerland and Austria and Slovenia and France. So you will, as you get more north in the country, like in Milan, you'll notice these cultural differences. So in no particular order, we're going to go ahead and get started with UCEAP. So UCEAP offers a ton of program options in Italy. The first group that I'm going to talk about is referred to as immersion. So when later when we're on the UCEAP website, I'll point out where you see this information on the program pages. But in the meantime, I wanted to point out that these are 3 immersion options. So what does that mean? So immersion means you are studying at the university alongside local and international students. So this is a different opportunity because what this can do is it expands the amount of courses you have to choose from. It gives you sometimes more of an independent experience in country because you're navigating a university, kind of like you're navigating UCSD now. And you sometimes get to access the resources of the university as well. So you are there, you're at the university, you're getting the full immersive experience, and that's why we call it immersion. So Bologna, the University of Bologna, is a very popular and fun program. Our students really, really love it. Bologna is one of the oldest universities in Europe. Michelangelo actually went there, the famous artist and engineer. At the University of Bologna, if you have taken Italian and if you've taken at least a couple years of Italian, you are eligible to take classes in Italian, which of course gives you more scope and more classes to choose from. If you are interested, if you don't have the Italian background, that's okay too. The University of Bologna, in coordination with UCEAP, they have a list of all the classes that are offered in English and across all the various disciplines. So the University of Bologna not only offers a wide range of courses, it also offers classes that are for students who are studying from UCEAP. So for example, the UC Study Center is located in Bologna. So in most of the regions of Europe, there is a study center in country where the UCs kind of connect. The study center happens to be located in Bologna, and from there, then they do outreach to Milan and Florence and Rome, but their home base is in Bologna. That also leaves there to be a UC faculty member who is the director of the program. So they live in Bologna, and they also offer a course for UC students. So you could not only take classes at the University of Bologna, you can choose to take the class that the professor who is currently directing the program there will teach, and that will just be for UC students. So you can balance. If you are somebody who has taken the 2 years of Italian, you don't have to take all your classes in Italian. You can balance it out. You can take maybe a couple classes in Italian, courses in English, and then of course the Study Center course. I should also mention the Study Center in Bologna is an incredible support system for our students. The people who work there, they provide your orientation upon arrival. They have activities, excursions, ways for you to connect. They're also some of the most well-connected people. So we've had students who wanted to intern or do research or find jobs, whatever the case may be, and the folks working there have been able to really connect students. So actually, when you go to the UCEAP website, one of the first pictures is one of our past students, and he was a bio major and he really wanted to have an internship at a lab, and they had never done that before, but they were able to connect him with a lab experience for that student. So they're very well connected. Bologna also has a very strong LGBTQIA plus center in the city. So it's a fantastic city and school for our students. It's also a hub of art and culture, and it offers a lot in terms of entertainment, and has many universities there. So it's not just University of Bologna. Johns Hopkins has a center there. So there is this kind of college youthful feel when you're there as well. So three cheers for University of Bologna. It's a really fantastic opportunity. So if you're interested in that, they offer fall semester, spring semester, and year-long options too. Going down to Padova, this is one of our newer programs. UCEAP is partnered with the university and offers psychology and cognitive science classes. This is a spring and year only program. You must have a major within cognitive science or psychology, sometimes biology as well. And they offer a slew of courses that you can take. The cognitive science department has already listed some of those on their website of students who've participated in the past. And this program is also growing in popularity. The next immersion option in Italy through UCEAP is Bocconi University in Milan. Bocconi is a renowned, sorry, I'm just letting some people in. Bocconi is a renowned economics and finance institution. This is a very competitive program. So you want to make sure that if you are interested in this program, you have completed the calculus series for your major. You must have a major in econ, business, or finance. If you want to take classes in econ, you have to have taken the 100 and 110 series or have completed it before departure. So we need to see it as part of your academic plan. All of these universities have different eligibility requirements, which you can find on the UCEAP website. That includes GPA eligibility, as well as if you need to be like Milan and Padua, a major within that subject. These programs are the competitive ones are Milan, that we are limited on spots. So it is first come, first serve. So if you are interested in that program and have questions, please come meet with me so we can talk about them before the application for UCEAP opens on November 1st. And again, please write down any questions you have. I will answer those when we finish up here. The next options that UCEAP has are the study centers. So a study center is a UC center or a center that is run by another study abroad provider and only serves international students. So in the case of a UC center, they're only serving UC students across California. You may find some other programs where it's a study center in coordination with a provider. In that case, they're not only serving UC students, but students who are strictly study abroad. They're not degree-seeking students at an institution. And because they're study centers, they don't offer as much as the university would offer. You're not studying at a university. You're typically studying in a beautiful building somewhere located near the city center or in the city. So they're limited on space, and so which also means they're limited on how many classes they can teach. So as you explore, if a study center sounds like, or a UC center sounds like something you're interested in, you want to pay very close attention to the academics, because what you see is what you get. So it makes it very straightforward. And they'll post exactly what classes are offered for the term, even linking to a syllabi and other really helpful information. So the UC Center in Rome offers a fall communications and sociology program where, of course, those courses focus in on that. And then we have in Rome, which is a new option we're very excited about, spring quarter, and what a gorgeous time to be in Italy, the Made in Italy program. So those classes focus on business and entrepreneurship. And then we have Art, Food, and Society, which is a winter quarter or a spring semester option. So these are all located at the UC Center in Rome. Then we have the UC Center in Florence. Florence is another beautiful city in Italy. I should mention some differences between Rome and Florence as well. So Rome is a much larger city in Italy. It's much more spread out. Whereas the UC Center in Florence, Florence is an old medieval city. They're very close to one another. Rome and Florence are about an hour train ride. So studying in one means you can very easily access and visit the other. Going back to the UC Center in Florence, there is the Made in Italy program as well. So that's a fall, winter quarter, or spring semester option. Or we have Italian in Florence, which is a fall semester. I have a whole nother slide on summer, so I want to make sure that I say that out loud, but I wanted to first focus on the regular school year and then show you what summer has to offer. So it's Made in Italy, you're going to focus on, again, very similar to the Rome program, business and entrepreneurship classes. And Italian in Florence, you're going to focus on learning the language. The Italian in Florence option is for beginners. If you have more than 2 years, then you should be going to Bologna so you can explore the language even further. If you are learning language or you've just completed 1 year, then you're eligible for that program. The next UC Center site is a multi-site program. So it's called Sustainable Food Systems in the Mediterranean. And you're actually visiting a few different locations. You take 4 classes, 2 of them you're learning across locations. And then you take a class in each location that is specific to that course. So some students choose this because of the topic. It's really interesting and you're in an area of the world where sustainability and seasonal ingredients are very, very important. Or it's because you want to see a little bit more of Europe during your time there in a study way. This is not to say you won't travel around when you are in Italy, but sometimes students like this idea of a multi-site. It gets them from place to place. Again, I will be looking at the chat when we finish up here, but thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. The next are all the summer options, of which there are so many. So there is the Made in Italy, Florence, and Rome. Again, that is focusing on business and entrepreneurship. Italian in Florence, where you can take Italian language and expand on that. And then we have 2 very thematic classes. The first is Crossroads of Culture in the Mediterranean. This is actually similar to one of our global seminars, but it's taught by UC Santa Barbara faculty, but open to all students. So you take a very specific class. You don't have a ton of options. It is those courses that are taught there. And then we have a field studies and volcanology class, which is offered in Sicily, which has a more anthropology feel. You're really and a earth science as well. So these are really interesting summer options. Most summer programs are taking about 2 classes, not more than that. To take more, it's just too much in the scope of the amount of weeks that you're there. These programs run between 4 and 8 weeks. It just depends on the program. So these are fantastic options over the summer in Italy through UCEAP. I also wanted to point out, please scan this. UCEAP will be having their own study abroad fair. They will also have a booth at our own study abroad fair, which will be on Monday, October 23rd. But if you feel like you want to chat with them more after visiting them on Monday, the 23rd, please scan this code to register for their fair, where they'll talk about their programs in a lot more detail, and you'll have opportunities to learn more about even more of their programs. So I wanted to make sure you have an opportunity to scan this, put in your calendar, and see if that is something that works in your schedule. Next, we're going to be talking about global seminars. So global seminars are UC San Diego courses taught abroad by UC San Diego faculty. Global seminars are 5 weeks over the summer. You take 2 classes, and they're taught by renowned faculty members in their field. The particular one that is in Italy this year is Ravel in Rome. if you're not a Revelle student, it's okay. You can still participate in this program. It will, though, if you are a Revelle student, count towards your HUME requirements. Otherwise, you can take this course out of interest. You can talk to your college or your major advisors about petitioning for elective units. But these programs are open to all, even if it has a college or particular department in the name. These programs are very accessible. You need a 2.0 GPA, and that's it. So if you're excited about global seminars, that opportunity to have 5 weeks over the summer with a renowned faculty in a very small group, global seminars are a fantastic option. If you scan this code, it will take you to the page for Revelle in Rome, as well as if you scroll down the page, they will have their own info session where you'll hear from Dr. Markman, the faculty leader. You'll also hear from the Global Seminar staff and all the details that pertain to the program. Global seminars are managed in-house, so we have control over the entire program. So you'll see the cost outlined, the syllabi for the courses, what your excursions are. The website provides all of those details very, very clearly. These programs have a max, sometimes about 25 to 28 students. So if one of these is exciting to you, their application opens November 1st. And similar to some of our capacity constrained programs, are open until full. So if as you're scanning the Global Seminars website, you see a program that excites you and you really want an opportunity to go, then you will really want to apply. And you apply through Tritons Abroad, which I'll show you a little bit later on. The other thing that is great about global seminars, there are scholarships available. They're over the summer, and they're open not only to UCSD students, but students from all over the country. So if you have a friend or everybody can participate, and they're really fantastic programs. Another great highlight of global seminars is that you may have noticed already, I know we're just kind of in our first week of classes here, but your classes are quite large, right? These are hundreds of students. And sometimes it can be difficult to connect with faculty when you're in a space with so many. Global seminars give you that opportunity to get to know a faculty in a more intimate way. So it's a really nice way to practice getting to know a faculty member, asking questions, and building the confidence when you're back on campus so you can hit the ground running in some of your other classes as well. We also have a fantastic opportunity called Global Exchange. So Global Exchange is different from UCEAP and Global Seminars because these are programs these are partnerships, I should say, that UCSD has with international institutions. So UCSD has worked directly with these programs to create an opportunity for our students. So not only are we sending students to study abroad through Global Exchange, and in this example at Collegio Glaciolari, and that's recorded and I just totally messed that up. So but they're also sending students to study abroad at our university. This is one of our newer partnerships we're very excited about. There are semester and year-long options. Students are open to take all courses that are taught in English. There isn't a lot of restrictions on you. There are some amazing funding opportunities available. There is a scholarship where it pretty much pays for everything. Typically with Global Exchange, what you pay at UCSD pays for the program and vice versa, and that's why it's an exchange. There may be some other costs, including housing and food and books and materials and all that. But for more or less, it is a very affordable option. And this opportunity can be even more affordable because of this endowed scholarship that is basically just giving you all the money to succeed on this program. We don't have a ton of spots on this program. So if you are interested, all of the details can be found if you scan this QR code here. It'll take you directly to the page. And there are drawers on the website with information about courses, housing, cost, the scholarship, and much, much more. Global Exchange applications are due in the spring. So this is something you'll want to get started on and do some research on as well. And a really fantastic opportunity for our students who are interested in Italy. And that's that's not all. There's so many ways to study abroad, as I'm sure you're gathering already. And just like our global seminars, other UC campuses have faculty-led programs. UC Davis is a great one. They offer over, I think, 40 summer study abroad opportunities. So like our global seminars, it's open to everybody, and so are the other UC campus programs. They are also faculty led. So when you, as you're doing your research, you may find that they are very specific classes, very specific coursework. So again, it's what you see is what you get. When you're applying, you apply directly through the other UC's portal as well as through Triton's Abroad. So again, I will point that out, but for global exchange and for global seminars, you apply through Triton's Abroad. For UCEAP and other UC campuses, you apply in 2 spaces. But other UC campus programs can be a great option because like UCEAP, because like global seminars, you are earning UC credit, the grades factor into your UC GPA, and it just expands the options that are out there for you. Last, there's much more. If you do not see what you're looking for through UCEAP, global seminars, global exchange, we can talk about other options that are out there. There are study abroad providers, as you can see listed here, a lot of acronyms. And these providers have opportunities maybe in cities that UCEAP and global seminars and global exchange don't go. Perhaps areas of study that the other providers don't offer. So while we like to first direct you to the programs I mentioned earlier, there is much more out there. And if you don't see what you're looking for, please come speak to us so we can help you find the best fit. A very important part of this process for our students is understanding our finances and scholarships. Over 60% of our students who study abroad have financial aid, and many receive Pell Grant. So we know funding is important to you. We are very proud to have a financial aid advisor who works in our office, Eduardo. And Eduardo is someone you can meet with by appointment. He's also available on Fridays during our drop-in advising from 10 to 11:30 a.m., which is all over Zoom. And you can email him at fao-eap@ucsd.edu. Once you pick a program, then his advising can become very specific to your program and be quite helpful in helping you understand your award, any grants you receive, how that goes towards your study abroad opportunity, as well as loans that might be available. He can clarify everything for you. So in the beginning, I would encourage you to go to the financial aid section of our website. He has built it out. It answers a ton of questions about every single program. And then once you've narrowed down where it is you want to go, he can bring up the budget for your program and your award and help paint a picture for you. There are also, like this session you're at today, there will be financial aid and scholarship workshops available. So if you go to our website where you found the link for this session, you can register for a financial aid session and build that into your research too. There are scholarships for summer, fall, and year, as well as winter and spring. Those are 2 separate application cycles. So for everybody here today who's interested in studying abroad summer, fall, or year of next year, applications will be due in the spring of 2024. If you are interested in studying abroad in winter or spring of 25, then the cycle is in the fall, September, October. So it never hurts to get started on researching and becoming familiar with the scholarships that are out there now and checking out the resources we have to support you. And as you can see, we've been able to award students over $800,000. Pre-pandemic, it was even more. So we're hoping to get back to those larger numbers like we did before. As you continue to do your research, you may have other countries in mind that you're interested in. And of course, there's more Get Started sessions where we go over in more detail the different types of programs and things to consider and stuff like that. So please scan this code. Lots of codes these days. Please scan the code. It will take you to our website where you can see all the different sessions that are up and coming. And then to highlight our Study Abroad Expo. So I shared with you UCEAP Study Abroad Fair. Well, this is the UC San Diego Study Abroad Fair, and it will be at Town Square right next to Yogurt Yogurt World on Monday, October 23rd. And there'll be booths. UCEAP will be there. Our global seminars team will be there. Financial aid will be there. Global exchange will be there in person. And you can come ask a ton of questions about programs that you're interested in. So what is next, you might be thinking? So after today, it's all about, taking and absorbing this information, continuing to research your options. It's always, always, always a great idea to start talking to your major, minor, and college advisors now. And the reason is because sometimes students think if I study abroad, it's going to hold me back. And it's actually the opposite. Students who study abroad actually have a bit of an advantage when it comes to graduation. And that is because of the planning. I know, I wish it was like something like I've unlocked some core secret, but it's really the planning. Because when you're studying abroad, you're already thinking about the classes you want to take and how that's going to impact perhaps the rest of this school year and when you come back and what you want to take abroad. So you've really mapped it out in such a way where hopefully you've avoided any surprises that can occur. So it is really with that planning that is going to keep you on track to graduate. And in order to plan, you have to reach out and be in communication with your advisors. Your advisors will also tell you what kinds of classes you can petition from studying abroad, perhaps the best time for you to study abroad when you look at your 2 or 4 year plan. And also some departments keep track of classes UC San Diego students have taken in the past and how it is fit into their academic plan. So these conversations are just very, very important. It's always good to ask questions. The application deadlines are up and coming. At this point in time, the Tritons Abroad application is open, and I'll point that out in just a second. Sorry, I'm admitting somebody. UCEAP applications on the UCEAP portal open November 1st, as does the Global Seminars application. So it's always good to start tracking all the application deadlines so you are prepared. And we're also here for you, always, always, always. We encourage you to visit our drop-in advising, attend more info sessions, and also use the Virtual Advising Center to submit any questions you have, and we'll get back to you within 3 days on that. So I am going to just stop my share quickly. I'm going to check out the chat, and then I want to show you some of the website. The recording, yes. Oh, thanks for helping each other out while I spoke. Yes, once the recording is ready, it will be added to our YouTube channel and to our website. And I will also send a message to everybody who registered for this session today in just a recap email, and I will send a link to the session. Are there any pre-med options? So that is a great question. Pre-med can mean a lot, right? So pre-med can mean your prerequisites for medical schools. Pre-med can also be programs that give you experience and make your application for those medical schools more attractive. So of course, study abroad can add to that. And it could be finding relative internships or research opportunities within those study abroad programs that you can add to your resume and your CV. And it's also in how you talk about it too, right? So it may not be that you find the exact program that's going to get you in a hospital, because sometimes that's more rare, but it's all about those transferable skills you use within those opportunities. So let's say you volunteer, I've seen before volunteering with refugees in Rome. So what kind of skills did you use? Are those skills going to be something that you can use when you're in medical school or when you're a doctor? What did it teach you about yourself? How do you apply those skills that may not be specifically I'm in a hospital, but give you the opportunities to connect and engage with people? And I saw one more question, and then I'll open it up right after I show you one more thing. Can you study abroad at any grade level? Yes, you can. Absolutely. So if you're in your first year right now, you can study abroad as soon as next summer, next fall, next year. You just want to look at the eligibility requirements for the program. So some will say sophomore, some will say junior, senior. If you see junior and you've transferred in a lot of units, you might be eligible. But what you want to look for is any course prerequisites that you may not have had the opportunity to take yet. So I had mentioned the business economics program in Milan, Italy, right? So you may have 90 units, but you may not have taken those two upper division econ series yet. So as you're looking at programs, you also want to pay close attention to the requirements. Another popular question students usually have is, can I study abroad multiple times? And the answer is yes. We have students who will do a global seminar and then come back and realize, oh, I want to go back again. And this time I want to study abroad for the year or a fall semester. So we've had students do that. We've also had students, I've had a student study abroad in Bologna in the fall and Florence in the spring. So they really liked Italy, but they kind of wanted to explore two locations. And a lot of this is possible. It's just about asking the right questions. So international studies, I think that Milan program can be really fantastic if you're focused on Italy. There's also the program in there's the Made in Italy programs offer business and entrepreneurship classes. So again, it's looking at your requirements, what kinds of classes, and then checking out the academics pages of those programs. Okay, so before I forget, I really want to show you next steps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to X out of here. And first, I want to take you to our website. So how many of you have been to the Study Abroad website? I'm going to say all of you have been. Okay. So what I wanted to point out here are a few important things. When you're ready to apply, you kept hearing me say Tritons Abroad. This is where you're going to find Tritons Abroad right here. And when you click on it, you're going to enter your PID and your password, and it's going to take you to a page where you can search programs. So you can get started on our side. As I mentioned, you only need to complete this for global seminars and the early stages of global exchange before you're nominated for a program. With UCEAP, I'm going to hide my meeting controls real quick. With UCEAP, you're not only applying through Tritons Abroad, you're also submitting an application through the UCEAP website, and you click on this Apply Now button. So I usually encourage students to have both windows open so you could toggle between the two. The Tritons Abroad website is not going to take you very long. The UCEAP portal, as it's called, is going to ask you some questions about yourself, the classes you're taking, things like that. But just make sure you do both, okay? It's very important. It's especially important for those impacted programs, those programs that have capacity constraints, because the students who do both are most likely going to get their applications looked at first. So it's really important that you submit both Tritons Abroad and the UCEAP portal. I wanted to just scroll down. These are all of the Italy programs. So you heard me say immersion before. Here we have immersion. It's also themed Bocconi because it is all about econ and business. UC curriculum, remember I said the UC Center. So when you start seeing these this language, that's kind of that is what it means. All right. Oh, and this is Joshua Beal, who was in Bologna, as I mentioned, and found that amazing research opportunity with the connection and the study center staff there in Bologna. Another great resource on the UCEAP website is if you go to student resources and the UCEAP course catalog. This is a list of all the courses UC students across the UCs have taken at various programs. So we could go to Italy. Here are all the programs, and you can kind of use this as you search to like, oh, where can I go that's going to offer the most classes in business economics or international studies, right? So you can search by country, you can search by subject. This is a really fantastic tool, and these are classes UC students have taken before. So you could very well find a class that no UC student has taken before. This just happens to be the list. Jumping back to our website, if you click here, this will take you to all the various programs we talked about and links to those sites directly. I also wanted to show you our events and deadlines page, all our sessions, and then again, here are links with all the deadlines. For UCEAP, if a program has limited spots, we will mention it on this page. So pay very close attention as you're doing your research. Check all these pages so you can really align what you need to do and when you need to submit. Okay, so I'm going to check the chat really quickly. Would Italy be good for an archaeology major? Yes, depending on the program. So even though these programs are in Italy and it is a hub for archaeology, the classes you take in particular may not cover that, but you will be in the city and will have many opportunities to check out what's going on. Anybody have any questions before we go today? You can just unmute or throw it in the chat. I'm just going to hang around, but I wanted to thank all of you for being here today. I will send out the recording, if not by the end of this week, next week. It's great to see so many of you interested in Italy, and I look forward to meeting with you soon. Great question, Maggie. I recommend, it depends. So I think one of the first steps is really talking to your advisors. It could be that you've done a lot of your GEs and you're focusing on your major classes. So then it's talking to your major advisor about how many classes you can petition from abroad. Typically, students take their elective units abroad. So it may be those, it's not the core requirements, but it's the classes that you have a long list to choose from, and maybe you need to take 10. So it's usually study abroad is lumped into those elective classes, but it's in conversation with your major in your college or your minor that you're going to get more details on the types of classes you can bring back from study abroad. When you do UCEAP, all the classes are going to transfer back, as with global seminars. Those are UCSD classes, and also with global exchange, but it is up to your departments to approve them to satisfy your requirements. So we usually see students doing those electives abroad. That's a great question. Thank you, Maggie. Any other questions before we go today? All right. Well, I'll stay on until the last person, or it might just be me. And thank you so much for being here today.